Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about the Washington Commanders spending $100 million on land in Woodbridge, Virginia for their new stadium. I'll talk about how likely that this is the final site for the stadium. I'll show you guys a picture of what the stadium is projected to look like, and I'll give you guys my overall thoughts on what I think about this location and if there's any chance that they're able to get a stadium done in DC. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Really close, so please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. It really does help out a ton. And also go ahead and follow the Twitter. First link in the description. Now, let's get right into the video. Okay, so earlier today, John Keim reported that the Commanders spent $100 million on land in Virginia. So we're about to read that article that goes into depth into the whole situation. But real quick, let me read JP Finley's tweet where he said, "Spoke with sources, Commanders land purchase is in Woodbridge, Virginia, not Dumfries. That's good, closer in. Also, this is made clear to me, nothing is a done deal. Virginia legislator makes next move, and don't count out Maryland and PG County either. A return to actual DC sounds remote but not finished." But it's looking like Virginia is the leader in the clubhouse. There's still a chance for Maryland, and obviously still a small chance for DC, but it's not looking likely that it's in DC at all. Very, very likely it's in Virginia, somewhere in Virginia, but still an outside shot that Maryland could be, the site could be in Maryland. But let's read this, kind of story from John Keim, reported earlier today, broke the news. So he said they paid more than, and after this I'll show you guys what the stadium looks like. The Washington Commanders paid more than $100 million for land in Virginia, a possible next step. So, according to a source with knowledge of the purchase, the Commanders paid a little more than $100 million for approximately 200 acres. The deal was completed late last week, but has not yet been filed with Prince William County, where the land is located. One source called it the team's preferred site for a new stadium, but said other options remain open. So basically, it's very likely that this will be the site because it's saying it's their preferred site. Virginia is really the only, location, state, or, Virginia actually gave them a somewhat decent amount of money. Maryland only gave them money to spend on, developing the land around it. So Virginia already was the leader in the clubhouse, and now, this news probably makes it the heavy favorite. So let's see. There's a chance the franchise will buy an additional 65 to 70 acres in the same area, about 23 miles from Washington and right off an exit on Interstate Highway 95 in Dumfries, Virginia. The site is approximately 80 miles from Richmond. So you guys can see some of this right here. They like the site because of how it can be developed. Their plans include a 60,000 seat dome stadium, so it can be used throughout the year. So they don't want it just to be a once every week or two, event. Like, they don't want it just to be used for football. They want other things, so that they can make more money, obviously. So as well as the team's practice facility and amphitheater seating 15,000 to 20,000, a small indoor music arena, high-end retail shops, bars and restaurants, and residential living. The roof would be translucent, and the stadium's facade could change colors. It could be white during the day and, for example, burgundy at night. So that would be really cool if the stadium could kind of change colors to burgundy and gold, maybe multiple colors. That would be really nice. And of course, in a stadium like this, whenever it comes out, 2026, 2027, you want it to have a lot of features like this that are modern, that make it unique, that make it stand out from the other stadiums in the NFL. You want it to be obviously like FedEx Field, which actually wasn't even built that long ago, wasn't that modern, and some stadiums that were built 10, 15 years before that were way better than FedEx. So with this new stadium, they have to make sure they get it right. They have to make sure they're innovative. They add things that really aren't available in other stadiums. So I like that idea for sure. So this is something I'll keep reading. Washington wants to leave FedEx Field, which was built by former owner Jack Kent Cooke and opened in 1997. The team owns the stadium as well as the surrounding property and other stuff right there. Before agrees to a site, the team needs to find out how much money the state and Prince William County are willing to commit prior to finalizing plans to build. That's why the franchise is keeping options open in Maryland, DC, as well as other sites in Virginia. We talked about this earlier. Maryland would be willing to spend around $400 million to develop the area around FedEx Field in Landover. The team would then build a dome stadium near its current home. The Commanders are also looking at land in Loudoun County, close to their current practice facility. And obviously the team would like to return to DC at the RFK site in its, which was its home from 1961 to 96. But because the site is on federal land, numerous governmental hurdles make that a long shot. So it's going to be really tough to get a stadium in DC. Maryland, it's still a possibility, but they're not giving them that much money. I mean, they're giving them no money at all to build the stadium, just to spend on the place around the stadium. So I mean, I don't really see Maryland really. And then Virginia is going to be under the one proposal, the franchise would receive $350 million from the state. So that's kind of it right there. There's some other things in the article that I didn't read, so make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. John Keim on ESPN, you guys can see it right here. But overall, what I think about, I think it's better than Dumfries, which a lot of people were thinking it was earlier. That's kind of why I waited a little bit to make the video, just so I could we could get more clarification on where the stadium is going to be. Woodbridge, definitely better than Dumfries. It's a little bit closer. It's still kind of far away. There's going to be a lot of traffic. It's not a great site. I much rather have this site than Landover, Maryland, in FedEx Field. I know a lot of Maryland people are going to be upset, but I don't know. I just rather have a stadium in Woodbridge than where we are right now. Would much rather have that. It's closer for some people, not for other people that live in Maryland, but those are just my thoughts. Of course, the number one spot would be RFK, or honestly, any spot in DC would be the best spot because it's in the middle between Maryland and Virginia, and of course, it's Washington. It's Washington Commanders. That's why you want to have the site in Washington, because that's the name of the team. And of course, there are other teams that don't play in their city or their state, like the Giants and the Jets. They don't play in New York. They play in New Jersey. But still, you would rather play in Washington than Maryland or Virginia. Those are just my thoughts, though. I know some people much rather have it in Maryland or Virginia, but I think majority of the people like it in DC. But it's still going to be pretty far. There's going to be a lot of traffic if it is in Woodbridge. A little bit better than Dumfries. I kind of looked. I think it was like a 10-minute difference or something like that. It's still going to be a lot of traffic. It's going to be far. But for the Virginia people, it's going to be closer for most of them than Landover, Maryland was for sure. Now, real quick, let's look at what the stadium would look like. This honestly looks pretty nice. And, of course, this is just the mock-up. There's going to be, and this is at the site that they bought the $100 million, land. So, if that doesn't work out, then obviously it's going to look a little bit different, but it looks pretty clean. I think it said 60,000 people, so not a crazy ton, but it kind of makes it look better when, if it's a 80,000 seat stadium and 40,000 people are in there, it doesn't look great. If you have 40,000 and a 60,000, it looks much better than 40,000 and an 80,000. So I think that's what they're going for there. And, it looks pretty nice. I like the colors. I'm not sure if those are what the colors are going to be, but if they are, I like it. Maybe this is showing it like lit up, the facade lit up with the gold there, the burgundy right here. I kind of like it. It looks modern, and they have the thing. Oh, I don't know if it's a dome, but they talk about something on the top. I think something translucent, which is nice, and maybe they can take that off during the day. I'm not completely sure. We'll get more details once things start to develop. But I like having a dome versus just because if there's a bad weather or anything like that, you can control that and make the game much better for your team versus, in the past where we've had some bad weather situations like that 49ers game and others. But it's not a huge deal, but it's something you kind of need in a modern stadium. And I don't think it's a dome, but hopefully they'll be able to retract it if they want, so that if it is a great weather game and you want to get some sun in there, you're able to do so and get that fresh air. So we'll see if that happens. But I like what the stadium looks like. The site in general, I think it's okay. Dumfries would not have been great. Woodbridge is okay. Preferably something closer to DC, even if it's in Virginia, would be a little bit better. But this isn't at the end of the world. Hopefully they can get something done in DC. I just highly, highly doubt it. And yeah, I think in the next few weeks to months, we'll start to get more and more on what, the possible stadium will be. If Virginia is willing to give more than they were offered before, or if Washington's okay with the $350 million, then I think things will really, really start to develop, and we'll get an official verdict on where the site will be, and we'll get more information on what the stadium will look like, things like that. So let me know what you guys think about the stadium. What do you think about the site? What do you think about what the stadium looks like in this mock-up right here? So yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.